Hi everyone. I'm going to take you on a little tour of my creative workspace. This is not your typical recording studio. It doesn't look like a normal recording studio, but this is where I do my work. So we're going down to the basement of my house. And I was mowing the lawn, so the clothes are hanging over the railing. Like most artists, I have a kind of a chaotic creative space, but it works for me. And, whoops, that's the strap of the camera. And I'll show you all the stuff down here. It's just a lot of random stuff. So there's projects and supplies all over the place. This big wooden frame here, the square, that's going to be a big frame drum. I'm going to make it with packing tape. We'll see how that sounds when I get that completed. Here is a big stadium rock sized drum set. Currently not tuned and not mic'd up, but it's pretty ready to roll if I get some spare time and get going on it. You got two different size kick drums in there and a couple of snares and a whole bunch of rack toms, and there's tons of other cymbals and stuff which are packed away. And there is all sorts of junk down here stored in these towers of milk crates, and there's a lot more crates. They're all full of tools, music tools, jewelry making supplies, all my creative stuff. And even though this all looks like really crazy and chaotic, I know where everything is. I know every single thingamajig and who's mabob and whatever. I know where to find all the tools I need. There's an amp in there, and there's that's a Black Star ID Core, their best ID Core amp, the stereo one. There's a Hartke 15-inch cone driver bass amp. This old drum set here, this white set that I recorded that a lot in the 1990s. And these are kind of hard to see. Let me get some extra light here. I brought a light with me. These snare drums, these are vintage snare drums that I found somebody was throwing away one day. And there's a Ludwig, and I'm not sure what the other one is. Let's see. Leedy. And I'm going to restore those, and we'll get those working and start recording them at some point. There's my little Maxi Mouse amp. Those are great portable little street performer amps. It's a keyboard amp, tube amp by Trainer. This drum I made from a flower pot, and that's a fun drum. It's ringing a lot right now because it needs to be muted. Let me put some muting on it. There's a pair of old socks here. We'll use this. There's another drum over there. That is the Dumbeck. This is a great little analog synth here, which I have not yet recorded, but I've actually got a synth patch set up on it. It's an Arturia Micro Brute, which I think is better than the Mini Brute because it's got this cool little patch bay up there in the corner where you can route the oscillators to different envelopes and stuff with actual physical patch cords. And this is a deck saver I bought for it to keep dust off the keys and stuff while it's sitting out on the counter. This long table here would ordinarily be covered in equipment set up with microphones, guitar amps and pedals and all kinds of stuff, but I was doing my taxes recently, so it's all covered with financial stuff right now. This is Leo. He is actually the neighbor's cat. Yeah, hi, sweetie. But he comes in here to get out of the rain, and he comes for the yummy cat food, and yeah, he's a big friendly guy. And there's jewelry making tools all over here, which he's sitting on. And this is where the magic happens. This is my computer. Got a pair of Tannoy near-field monitors there, and this keyboard up top, which is currently not connected, but when I'm sampling and making loops, I will use that to figure out the key signature of the loops. So like I'll record on guitar or something and I won't have any clue what I'm actually recording, and then I'll noodle around on the keyboard and figure out the key signature. I got a little Alice's RA100 amp here connected to the speakers. And here's more keyboards, and there's a guitar, and what is that? That's probably that's a Tascam cassette deck under all those cables. This structure back here is kind of interesting. This is a concrete block, and these blankets are producer's choice acoustic sound absorption blankets. There's many layers of those on top. This is like a soundproof room I created. It doubles as a vocal booth, but its main purpose is for me to write lyrics in, because I get really, really bad stage fright, and I can't write lyrics if I know anybody else is within earshot. I just kind of clam up. So I built this because I have a roommate, and I will be writing and recording album number 2 in there. Album number 1, which is about to be released, is all instrumentals. But this is where the next one's going to be written. Up top, there's all kinds of stuff. There's more drums. There's another snare drum. There's another kick drum. There's a couple more snare drums over there. Headphones in a cat bed sitting on top of all the cymbals in their cases. Even some little tiny cymbals here. Little splash cymbals and sort of Turkish finger cymbals. Let's go in the Songwriter's Bunker real quick here. I'll show you the inside. I got my light, and there's a table where that's where I set my computer up. There's just enough height in here for a pair of speakers, and you can probably hear here that the acoustics have changed when we went into the room. And the ceiling is held up with 2x4s. I don't know if you can see that. And then just many layers of these blankets. And I'll probably also buy some movers blankets and throw on top to make it even more sound absorptive. So that absolutely none of my screaming and singing and wailing leaks out to the outside world while I'm writing, because I just need my creative privacy. And also sheltered in there a little bit during Hurricane Irma. We were afraid this house was going to come down around us, but it ended up being pretty strong. So never really was in any danger. It trashed the outside of the house, but the inside was just fine, and the windows all held. I had all the studio gear. You notice there's no preamps or any effect processors or anything down here right now. They are all still upstairs because I piled all of my really precious personal possessions into an interior hallway in a bathroom. It was like crammed like the antechamber to King Tut's tomb. So all that stuff was totally safe. And last little bit of the tour, let's look out this back window. You can see some of the hurricane damage. This green porch here is all destroyed, and you can see I tarped the roof of the pump house back there because that got stripped of its shingles, and yeah, okay. Anyway, this crazy land here, down here, is where I do my work. Here's some paintings by artist Michael Coffino. Those are huge on canvas rolls. I used those a long time ago. We had an industrial band, and that was part of the stage set. What else is interesting down here? I don't know. There's just cables all over the place, and it's all ready to use again once I get set up and get back to creative work. Let's say goodbye to Leo. Hey, Leo. He's deaf, by the way, so he meows really loud. But he's not going to do it for us right now. Good boy. Okay. Signing off.